Looking forward to a great week, 4 home games. That's exciting for this program, and need to finish strong. I think we know that. And got a good North Texas team that's coming in. Will play us really tough like they always do. And then Utah coming in at the end. So last week, tough game against Texas. Same thing against Kansas. Took all we had to kind of win 2 out of 3. Still obviously not offensively as good as we think we can be. We're upstairs currently now trying to work through some things, and I think we like what we're seeing out of the first group. And honestly, we're just trying to just free them up. I think maybe we're trying to do a little too much, and it's taken some aggressive type swings out of them, and that's what we've been noticing. And so we're gonna try to turn that dial a notch, or turn it back a notch, maybe, whatever way you want to look at that, and see if we can't get some results there. But obviously Ruby pitching extremely well. Probably pitching as good as she's pitched here the whole time, to be very honest. So it's exciting. We know we have the right pieces. Crandall's starting to look the part that we brought in here, and that's exciting for us too. So a lot of things to look forward at, and I'm excited about the week ahead.
Okay, can you just talk about just the momentum needed as you use this week to get into postseason play coming up?
Yes, it's huge. I've the same me. I got to bounce in the step. I can't wait for what's coming. We're upstairs working hard, and I think our team knows that we need to start playing our best, and we haven't done that yet. And I know to the outside world, to a lot of our fans, the sky's falling, but it's not. We're still okay, and we're doing a lot of stuff very, very well. We're just not finishing with the offense. We're doing some good things. We're just not finishing. And so I think that's in our control, and I think that's something that we can do. So important time of year, fun time of year, the best time of year. It's why you come here. So I think we have a lot of kids. The mentality, the body language I'm seeing here today, I didn't get to see them yesterday. I was out recruiting. But what I'm seeing here today, I walked in with was like, man, the energy is really good. So that tells me it's good.
You mentioned the home schedule earlier. I think you guys have played 11 home games. Some of that's out of your control, obviously, thinking back to the Fires and stuff.
Yeah.
But kind of as you were developing the schedule, did you realize it was maybe a little softer on the home games, and kind of what went through that?
I did. I knew it was soft on the home games, but I couldn't get people here. I actually took over the schedule late too, so that was one thing that was kind of behind the 8 ball. No, it's no fault to anyone. I just took back the schedule. So I'm working on that now. I'm working on next year already. We're all working on that, and years to come. So I think we're already in a better place on that. We'll take a little bit more risk with some weather, maybe early, but you know what? Everybody's doing it, and they're figuring out a way. So we're gonna go ahead and go that route too. And but I still want to have the quality opponents here. I don't want to just bring anyone in here to play. I don't think that's what we need. Even though I think some people might look at our schedule now and go, "That I don't think that schedule has anything to do with the way we're playing." I think we have something to do with that.
Do you think being on the road as much as you guys have, do you think that's given you guys a chip on the shoulder? Has it added anything, do you think, to this group?
Well, I'll let you know, because I think we've kind of let the hosting kind of slip away. And that's okay. Like I told our team, that's our journey. I mean, I want to host everything. It's just, who wouldn't want to be playing at home? But we are not phased on the road, so that won't be anything new. So, and like what you just said, the chip on your shoulder is something that we need to get back here a bit. We've had that for my whole time here, and this year it's been a little bit, maybe not that. And that's one of the things we've been talking about is, hey, it's never going to be easy here. It never. I don't care like how much we've won. It hasn't got any easier. It's gotten harder. So that chip gets a little bigger, and that's okay. And that's what's made. We have Coach Ward is up in the batting cage now, and I think he can talk to you about the chip on your shoulder. You know what I mean? I think Coach Holder can talk to you about the chip on your shoulder, and that's why I want those people around, because they understand what goes on here and why it's so special here. But why it's so special here is because it's so hard here. That's why it's special here. So I think we're understanding. Now it's just applying, and that's one of the things we've been working on a lot here is applying what we know and what we can do.
So you got Gary Ward in the
Yeah.
talking to players there?
He's not. I mean, he's up there. Like he's been around. I've been asking Coach Ward to come around for many years, and he's been obviously. I think one of the most touching things he's ever said to me is, his wife Kathy died a few years ago, and he took care of her. He's taken care of her almost my whole time here. She's been sick the whole time, and he told me, he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna be around as much as I can, but I have to take care of her. She's taking care of me and this family forever." And I was like, gosh, like that as a man, you know what I mean? And so he's slowly starting to come around more. He's sitting up there now, and we're talking, and we're just talking. We're watching, and he's talking to me about things that he sees, and he's talking to me about, he knows every one of our kids. It is crazy. And he knows the way their swings work, and it's really kind of cool, which tells me he's watching every time we're playing, which it just amazes me. So it's really cool. So this game, he loves this game. He loves our kids, and he loves the bat and ball. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of cool. So it's neat to have him up here and around here, and just say he's another. He's a calm soul. You know, I mean, I don't know what he was like to play for. I don't think that may have been what it was like. But now as he's in this part of his life, you can just see he's just sitting back there, and everything that's in that brain. You know, I think he's 83. Everything that's in his brain, it's wild. I hope I'm half as sharp as he is at that age. First of all, I hope I get to 83 for sure, but like sharp.
Coach, special weekend, seniors.
Yeah.
How special is this senior class been to you?
Yeah, it'll be fun. We've got kids that have been here a year, kids that have been here for 2 or 3, maybe one been here for 4 cats, but been here for 4. So it's always a fun time. It really is. It's emotional. It's really cool to see them get, to go out on that field and get their jersey and do that kind of stuff. So I'm thankful for these guys. I'm thankful for what they've poured into this place. Not all of them have been superstars here, but what I tell everybody when they come here, their first year, when you get to be our age, nobody cares about how good of a player that you were. They care about what kind of a teammate and person you were to them. And it's like I tell them when I get back together with my '94 championship team, or when I'm talking to girls that I coached at Florida on those championship teams, it's amazing. Nobody talks about the game. They talk about the fun times. They talk about practice. They talk about, you remember when you chewed us and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't. They're like, we do. I'm like, I don't remember that. I don't remember. I mean, but it's funny that's the kind of stuff you talk about. And so it's just cool to have these kids that have embraced the cowgirl way and have come here and given us everything. And that's the stuff I'm thankful for. I got a great phone call here today. I was driving to the airport this morning, and I got a call from Chelsea Alexander, and it was just a weird, I needed it. It was a weird, like, timing, like, hey, I'm just checking on you. And I just telling you thank you. And I'm just like, for what? And it's cool. So it's cool to get that kind of stuff. And that's why you signed up to be a coach, period, for senior days, for those type of calls, for one of the coolest pictures I currently own in my professional life is a picture we took about 3 weeks back for a alumni weekend here, and I was with about 10 of our former kids that I coached and their babies, and it was like somebody sent me the picture, and I just stared at it for a long time going, I'm getting old, and this is really cool. And to see them all there holding their babies, it was, man, it's just kind of what it's all about. So that's what the senior weekend leads us into, and the next chapter when the season ends, and it's cool to get to honor them.
When Cheese was up here talking about it, she actually got a little bit emotional, which I had never seen that side of her, so I was a little surprised. But does that kind of just tell you that y'all are building things the way you want to? You're impacting these people.
I think so. I think, yeah. I mean, again, I think that's why you coach, and that's a kid that, spent 5 years at Fullerton, one where she couldn't play, and then to come here and embrace this, and it's been hard on her here, and she hasn't shied away. She's never not walked in that front door and been bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and, just walking in here bouncing, right? And so to experience that with her, and I've talked to her, I told her, hey, your struggles, it's making you who you are and who you're going to be for a long time, and it's really cool. And it's not, I don't look at her struggles as playing bad. I look at it just hasn't been what she's been used to per se in some things, and I don't necessarily think that that's bad. I think that's probably the reality of the schedule and the grind and the expectations that this program can put on you. So I didn't want to cry today, but I am. Mm-hmm. So I think it's cool. It makes me very happy, and she's going to stay around here and do a graduate year, and I think we can really help her. And I think she has a chance, to be a really good coach. She got a lot to still learn, and she's willing to learn. She's willing to be coached. She's willing to speak up, which is kind of rare for young females. We need to be able to encourage them to be able to speak up more, and that's something that we try to do in this program a lot. I want them to have a voice. I want to be respectful, but I want them to have a voice, and so she's done that here. She's come in and she didn't peek around that door. She kicked it down. It's been cool.
We talked to Amanda last week, and she was kind of telling us about her post-bat sort of routine, going and writing things down, all the stuff she does. She kind of got off to a slow start early in the year. And kind of went crazy. Does that kind of show her professional nature of her approach to hitting, maybe, and why she came through that slow start so well?
Yeah, I think it's another one that's really embraced this place. I mean, she has one more year here, but she, I don't think the struggles had anything to do with the hitting. I think it had everything to do with learning how to handle the expectation and the struggle and all that. And she's a pro, and she's got a lot to still learn, but she is a pro in the way she goes about her work. And it's not always perfect, but it's meticulous. It's thought out. She's not afraid. I have coached a lot of kids that they'll tell you what you want to hear. And she's not afraid if she doesn't know, if I ask her a question that I think should be a pretty obvious answer, she's not going to try to figure out what I want her, to say. She's just going to say, yeah, I didn't think about it like that. And when you're like that, you're vulnerable, which means you're opened up to learning. And she just continues to learn. I can't wait to watch her hit up here today, because she's really feeling good, and taking some good swings. And I think you could see her go on another tear. To be honest, she's real close. Cheese is right there too. Cheese had a great weekend and hit 220. I mean, her weekend was phenomenal. To be very honest, I can recall one bat out. She struck out on a kind of a check swing. She hit balls hard. I gave her, in the last 2 games, I think she had in her 9 at-bats, I think she had, I gave her 8 quality at-bats, but only hit 220 on the week. So really playing well. Those guys they're embracing this, and it's been cool. And so Amanda's just a kid that I've never been around a kid that's the whole year has written down every at-bat. Now Ruby does the same thing. Ruby is even more kind of meticulous. She's just as meticulous. She, after every inning, she comes in and writes it down. And I just blows me away. And it may be her way of blowing off some steam too and doing that kind of stuff. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat when you have kids like that take to heart what we're saying, and are really working hard to really try to improve. And both of them are really improving here. It's cool.
Just curious, when you talk about a pitcher's mentality, how do you talk to pitchers when they think they're hitting the zone, they're not getting the calls by the home plate umpire? What do you tell them to work through, maybe just not getting the corners, not getting the strikes? How do you tell their pitchers to reset? What do you do?
Get to the next pitch.
Uh-huh.
You can't. It's kind of what Coach Ward talked to us a couple weeks about. He goes, you can't worry about the last pitch, and you can't worry about the next pitch. You gotta worry about getting to that pitch. You know what I mean? You can't worry about what hasn't happened and what already happened. You can't change it. So just get to the next pitch. And Ruby's done a really good job. She's starting to turn into a more mature pitcher. And it's hard, you know. And when you have bad body language, the umpire doesn't like it. You know, believe it or not, I tell people this a lot. Umpires actually want to call strikes. They get paid on a flat rate. They don't get paid hourly. So they actually want to call strikes because the game moves faster, right? So if you're around the zone, you will get more calls. You know what I mean? So it's the kids that drive me nuts, or the pitchers that drive me nuts when they're throwing so many uncompetitive pitches, then they throw a nasty one and expect that the umpire is going to call it a strike. When the last one was up here and the other one was here, and then you throw one they're human. And so it's just like, if you'll just take care of your own stuff, they'll take care of their stuff. We have a tendency to want to bitch and moan about every ball and strike. And then if you really want to dive in and go, well, if that was you back there, how would you expect to be consistent when the pitcher's not? It's hard. It's a really hard deal. Umpiring is the most thankless job. Refereeing, umpiring, any of that kind of stuff, and it's why we have a shortage of it, because everybody wants to bitch, everybody has a voice, but nobody wants to actually get back there and do. If you took every parent and made them umpire for a whole year, they would never say another word in their life, period. And that's why I like when I talk to umpires, the only thing I can ever say to them is height, because I can see that from the side. The height is the only thing I can see. I can't tell him in and out. He tells me, or he or she says, hey, the ball's out. I'm like, okay, it's not my catcher's saying, but yeah, okay. But it's not low. That's one thing I can tell. It's not low. And then they look at you like, most of the time they're like, yeah, you're probably right, or whatever. So I think it's just having that respect. And if the pitchers will respect them back and not have bad body language, and they're consistent in that zone, they'll get more of those calls. So most of the time we just go to them and say, hey, it's on you. Yeah. Like, try calling your game. Have fun with that, you know, and so that's kind of the way we go about it.